Hey, this is Ryan. I'm going to walk you through my 1-hour technology workshop on using Quizlet in the classroom. If you will see, we're on the landing page, and I used Weebly to sort of house my material for the course, and it's quizletworkshop.weebly.com. On the home page, you have some icons and pictures that will hook the learners into the topic, and we also have a video of what Quizlet is all about. At the top, we have a intro survey link, so members of the workshop can take our pre-workshop survey. They can also view the agenda that was passed out. The great part about having the agenda embedded is that it is hyperlinked, so anything that we talk about, they could click on the hyperlink. Underneath handouts, you're going to see a drop-down menu, and underneath additional elements, there is the lesson plan. So I'm going to start with a lesson plan because I included the rubric at the bottom. And it's a great way for me to sort of walk you through the workshop and make sure we've covered everything on Quizlet. All right, so for handouts, level 1, we were supposed to have 3 or more handouts to support the learning objectives of the lesson. They're easy to use, well developed, with accurate content. Handout 1, I created a Q&A interactive worksheet. Basically, hypothetical questions that teachers may have about how to use Quizlet in the classroom, how to make it from a one-to-one tool to a class-wide tool. And at the bottom, I included a QR code that would take them to the best feature, in my opinion, which is Quizlet Live. Quizlet Live will actually get students up out of their seat, put them in random groups, and make them work together. So I thought it was a great way to get teachers to check out the tool. So they just scan the QR code and can learn more about Quizlet. So we're going to go to our second handout, which would be printing materials. Now, obviously, Quizlet is a digital tool, and that is the big selling point, and that is a digital flashcard. But sometimes students don't have access to the internet, or they don't have a mobile device that they can use, and so teachers may need to print things. And I did not go over this in the workshop. We didn't have time to cover the printing feature, and a lot of teachers that use Quizlet didn't know that you could print, and so that's what I wanted to show them. So you start in a study set, and I gave examples of and screenshots of what that could look like. So sort of shows teachers where to go. But then also I included PDF samples of the printout, what it would look like. Teachers' favorite feature, if I scroll to the bottom, was the ability to create tests in Quizlet. They really loved the ability to take a study set, click 3 buttons, and then come up with a quiz that they could print. This is great for last-minute subplans, and they thought that it was wonderful, and sometimes it's just the small things that teachers really connect with. So that was handout 2, that was practical. And then handout 3 was a sample Quizlet schedule. I told them that we could use Quizlet for classroom management. They didn't believe me, and this is proof that you can. They're English teachers, and English teachers typically have vocabulary that they have to teach, whether it be before a unit or book or just weekly vocabulary. So I kind of mapped out a week-to-week plan for how they could use Quizlet as a warm-up every day for the first 5 to 10 minutes of class. And so I've showed them how to manage a classroom using this really simple tool. And I think that they, if they sit down and look at this, they can apply it right away. So those were our 3 handouts for meeting criteria 1. And we've met all of those criteria, so there would be 50 points. Now, the second section was the online instructional component. Now, in the online instructional component, we are on it right now. It is supporting all of our learning objectives. It's well developed. There are no broken links, and I'm actually using a tablet to do the screencast now just to show you that it works in a lot of different formats. So for additional elements, I included quite a few things. The lesson plan, which is what we're looking at now. Also a copy of the agenda, which we looked at just a minute ago, and there's a link at the top. There's also a link here on the rubric. We've included a narrative as well, element 4. We've got the lesson plan and then walkthroughs. So walkthroughs is something I did when I first reached out to my colleagues about this workshop. A lot expressed interest, but they were also tied up with other things. It's the end of the year. We're getting ready for milestones. We had the Relay for Life, and there are just quite a few things going on. So they said they couldn't make it, and I was a little disappointed because I thought that they could really benefit from this workshop. So I made some walkthroughs. So if you click on that, you'll go to the walkthroughs page, and at the top I just wrote that if you need a refresher on the course, or if you know someone that could use it, share this page. And so I have a few walkthroughs on the basic elements. Everything that I thought was essential to start in Quizlet and really get the most benefit for your students, I included on here. Obviously, there are advanced features that are left out, but it's the top 10 things that I think teachers would be able to use. And so I included that underneath walkthroughs, and that's an additional element. We have a workshop flyer, and it just talked about the date, the location, what we were going to be doing, what we would cover, and then also a QR code that would take them right to the introductory survey. And the other thing was a workshop evaluation. I'm going to come back to this in just a minute. I actually combined the narrative and the evaluation in the same document because I thought they were closely related, and it was just an interesting way to tie those together. So I'll go back to my lesson plan, and as you can see, we have covered our online instructional component, our additional elements. The evaluation instrument had to cover 3 levels of Guskey's evaluation, and actually covered level 1, level 2, and level 4. Level 1 asks about their reactions, and the reactions were positive. They really felt like the time was well spent. They liked it. They thought it was useful. 2 is about their learning, and they all felt that they had learned how to use the tool. And then number 4 was actually more about the use or the application of the skills, and they all felt like they could apply and they were able to do the things that we wanted them to do. So we'll look at the instrument briefly and see that every question deals with one of my objectives, and so directly reflects what they're able to do, what they know, and what I wanted them to do. Also give a chance to give feedback on what they would like to see for future professional development opportunities, and that's exciting to me because I'm going to actually teach one based on their feedback. So there's my evaluation instrument, which should be another 50 points. The workshop evaluation, data, and narrative. So the table of results is here. I only had 3 that were able to complete the post-workshop evaluation, but we still got enough data to know what worked and what didn't work. And then also the narrative. Okay, the narrative is a little over 1 to 2 paragraphs, and the way I did it is I also, not only did I include the graphs in the appendix and the spreadsheet response, but I also commented on each one. So for each objective, for every bit of feedback that I got, I made a little comment on what I thought about that particular strand. So in a nutshell, that's the workshop. It went great. I'm going to actually do a follow-up workshop on how to combine multiple study sets, how to import data from Excel or Word or another type of program. And so I was really pleased with how the workshop went, and please feel free to email me or ask if you have any questions. Thanks.